Okay, folks, doing some preliminary testing on a new Cobra 148. That's going to be a custom 148 when we get through with it. Sounds like United Kingdom's coming in. And we've got a bit of thunderstorm activity in the area. Looks like it's receiving okay.
You crank them up a little higher, you get a lot of background. 2264, west side of the base zone. This diesel car is quiet. Right at 2264. 2264, this beach boy has a 5. He would like to use you right there to that car.
Well, I love the quiet sideband receivers of these radios.
John Denver. Down here in San Diego, Cal, sitting back in the patio, rocking the mail. Hey, how's that ground plane working for you, man? I heard you got it up and everything, man. God, it was like only last week.
I was hoping I could find a really strong local station so that I could show you the adjacent channel rejection on this radio.
Wally World up in the park.
Oh, there we go.
One on Atlantic? Yeah.
All right, now he's on channel 1. He's definitely running power. He's almost right underneath my antenna. Hear him just a little bit, 2 channels away from him.
When you turn it off.
These radios have excellent adjacent channel rejection. It's even better on sideband. The AM filter on these, I believe, is classified as a D on the bandwidth. Of course, the best one is the H. The tighter the bandwidth, the less adjacent channel bleed over you get. The better the adjacent channel rejection. So what you don't want to do, you don't want to open the bandwidth. In other words, get an AM filter that's less than a D, because as the letter decreases all the way down to A, it means that the bandwidth is wider, which lets channels close to you get in your receiver. So the tighter the bandwidth, the better the channel rejection. And looks like this was working good on receive. We switch to the dummy load and get on the bird. And let's see what it's doing on transmit. Hello. About 4 watts. Audio. About 4 watts. Oh, I didn't have it on peak. Let me put it on peak. Let's see what the peak. Audio. So we're on the 50 watt scale. That scale there in the middle looks like it's swinging to about 12 watts. That's pretty good for one right out of the box. Dead key in about 3.5 and swing it up to about 12. No adjustments inside the radio. That's on AM. Let's switch to sideband, see what we're doing. Hello, we're on sideband. Audio test, test audio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Audio test. About 12 to 15, without any adjustments inside of it. Should do much better than that once I get her tuned up. But that's pretty good. Especially right out of the box. Usually they only run about 10 watts, 10 or 12 watts. This one's doing excellent. Alright, time to get started on it. Okay, I'll be back. Still working on Stephen's radio. Stephen in Canada. Stephen, this is yours. Got all the controls mounted up front. Got all the wires run. I've added the protection diode, the 6-amp protection diode right there, and added the 3300 microfarad filter on the input power. I've also swapped out C172 with a 3300 microfarad 25 volt. It about the biggest one I could put in that space. And I swapped out I think it's 136, which was I think it was a 47 or 0.47, something like that, a real tiny one. Swapped it out with a 1000 microfarad 25 volt. This is on the supply voltage lead going to the voltage regulator, and it kind of helps buffer the voltage regulator when you like really are talking on the radio, and the radio is taking a lot of current, especially like on sideband. And right down there is D1, D2. They've been replaced by Schottkys. And I don't know if you can see them or not. Yeah, there they are. D21, 22. The receiver diodes have been replaced by Schottkys. And right there is TR15. It's been replaced by a high gain, low noise transistor, and so has TR14. I use a different transistor than the 2SC2999, and consequently the base and collector leads are swapped. That's why you see the heat sink on one of the leads. So I could swap the base and collector lead around without them shorting out. The receiver's been broadbanded to cover the frequency range of the radio. And you can see we got your LesComm 5300NX all mounted up. And I do not have the cables wire tied yet. And right here is the cables for the TRBX3, the Echo, which is going to go right here. I just wanted to show you this before I put that in there. And you pretty much, every control is now dual controls except for the voice lock. Voice lock stayed the same. Your talkback and mic are on one. Which, by the way, the knobs on this one are not going to line up like they are on the rest of them. And that's because I had to use that type of resistor, variable resistor control to get the 1K and the 1K. I'm going to look for some different ones, preferably ones like well, like this one that they're using for the Echo, but that's a 50K with a switch, and we don't need a switch on this. But your SWR Calibrate control is now your AM power control. You can control AM power with this. The Calibrate function is set up to be Full, okay, if you would. Kind of like turning this variable resistor all the way up. And what you'll do is when you switch to calibrate, you will adjust your AM power to the calibrate position on the meter, which does the same thing. And be able to check your SWR that way. Okay? I'll explain it all again once I get the front panel on it. And it's got all the controls labeled. Now they're using, in these newer radios, they're using the EKL 2078 and 1969 final transistors, which is fantastic. I mean, they're as good, if not better, than the old Mitsubishi transistors. And they're also using the 10-watt audio amplifier, which I really like. It's doesn't get as hot as the other ones, and produces nice, clear audio. It's that particular chip has been in the auto stereo market for a long time, and I was glad to see Cobra incorporated into this radio. It does have an MMB 8719 PLL chip, which my board just loves. And let's see, you do, I told you already, you got the LC 5300 NX, which is the latest version of the 5300. The 5300 is has exceptional digital filtering, and that's why I'm putting it in this radio. But it will probably be discontinued because I'm just not selling that many of them. And the new designs on the 5304 and the 6404 filter out the noise just as well, almost. There's very, very little difference between the 5300 and the 5304 NX, other than that second stage CPU there is missing. Okay, clarifier's been done, and it's open. It moves transmit and receive. You got about 5 down, 5 up. And let's see, I did it that way so that it wouldn't be so touchy. I could fix it where that it would slide down more so you could get the 0, but then the clarifier control wouldn't be centered up. But I may do that anyway because, you know, it's knurled and I can move the knob around to where the pointer is at 0. Another feature I wanted to show you is that I've started running the counter cable over here in this corner. Now, it's true this corner is very busy now. You got your amplifier switch right there, and now you've got the counter harness coming through here. And what I did, I don't know if you can see that or not, behind that wire tie is a T1 3/4 mounting assembly, panel pass-through for a T1 3/4 LED, which works perfect for this. You drill a hole in there and file the hole just a little bit to get the collar to fit in there, or the pass-through to fit in there, and then I slide the collar over the back of it, which holds it in place, and push the wire through that hole. It gives it a nice clean hole in the back for the cable to pass through, and we know that it won't get chafed or cut by the rear panel. And then I just route it up front with the rest of the wires and take the coax cable over to the test point and hook up a ground and connect the other end to a test point. Now, you do have to use this output with the newer FC347 and FC390s. And the FC390s and 347s do have to be modified to cover the Cobra 7.8 IF. If you don't do that, the counter reads like 44 megahertz or something like that. But almost done. Like I said, I gotta wire up the TRBX3 up here. I'll take the mic jack out and do that, and do it properly. And your TRBX3 will be mounted right here. I've kind of changed the way things are mounted around a little bit, but getting close. Okay, thanks a lot. I'll be back. Okay, got everything done except for the amp. I got to go trim the heat sink so that it will fit this radio. You know, it wasn't made for the Cobras, so I got to go trim the heat sink on it, and then punch the holes and start the mounting procedure. Just wanted to try it out, make sure everything works on it before. That's probably too high doing that. Put it on scan. Let's make sure it scans. Alright, now I want it to continue on the scan, so I'll click the channel selector one time and then it'll go on. And close the squelch. There we go. Pretty quiet. Scanning up. I'll scan down now. I see it bumping the needle every now and then. No, that didn't work. I squished up too much. Well, that should have stopped. I was checking out the receiver. Make sure everything works like it should before I mount the RFX 150. Just a little easier to work on that way.
Thanks for the call, and thanks for everybody else that was calling in there too. Appreciate it. But yeah, nice signal, real nice and strong. My name is Brian Baker Radio into the American Norway.
We are on the upper side of 28,475.
Just had a little breakfast, so I got a little phlegm in my throat. My apologies. Oh boy. Anyway, we're in north central Arizona, about 55 miles to the south and west of Flagstaff, up in the mountains here at 5,200
phone band. And this is the band switch here. It only goes up because I used this switch here. I set up scan on the 5400 or 5300 NX. And let's see, let's get back down to AM. See what we can hear. Usually 6 is really busy. Kind of quiet today. Georgia. Wyoming.
Yeah, how about that station out there in Wyoming? How about that station out there in Wyoming? You got a copy on Northeast Florida? 44 John, I heard you in there. They sent a while back.
I keep trying to make videos and keep getting phone calls. But just wanted to check it out one more time before I put the RFX 150 on it, and everything seems to be working fine. Switch to Bird and check make sure that the output power is still what it ought to be. Audio 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Yes, it is. Sounds good. Okay. Alright, let's check AM now. Ooh. Okay, test 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, audio test, test, audio test. Turn the talk back up just a little more. Test 1, 2, 1, 2, test. Test 1, 2, 1, 2, test. A little bit more. Test 1, 2, 1, 2, test. Test 1, 2. Okay. Now then, turn on some echo. Hello. Hello. I can turn that talk back up a little bit more. Right. Hello. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Hello, test. Testing 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Now, echo will work in sideband and in AM, but talkback will only work in AM. Okay. Don't recommend that you run echo on sideband. Well, just a tiny bit of echo is fine. Audio test, audio test. Maybe a little bit more than that. Audio test, audio test. See, that would work good on sideband right there. But you're not getting the repeating thing. You're kind of getting the, like I'm in a stadium type thing, and that sounds pretty good on sideband. Okay. All that's working normally. This is your AM RF power right here. Can't hold the camera and do that too. And let me turn it down. Hello. So you can vary the power, and it's going to come in handy when you're running the RFX. You can control the output of the radio. I'll go into more detail once I get the radio all put back together. Okay, I'll be back. Shot of the inside of the radio. Let you see how things are laid out. There's the TRBX3. Got it mounted on the side. The cables are tucked back into the side there. There's the 3300 microfarad filter cap on the power input. And right there is the protection diode, the extra protection diode that's been added. This is I think it's C172 that's been replaced with a 3300 microfarad. And you can't see up underneath there, but I replaced the 47 microfarad C132 with a 1000 microfarad. That's the input of the voltage regulator. That adds protection and also adds a buffer. And let's see, there's the LC5300NX. You can see the adapter there, and the other one underneath there, you can't really see that one. But it's all set up, and that's what the inside looks like. Let me show you the bottom. Okay, there's the wire going to pin 10. That's the red one is the pickup point for the anode of D31. And the blue wire right there is the 8-volt transmit pickup. That comes up to the other side of the voltage regulator. The red wire, of course, goes to the LC5300NX. There's the wires for the talkback. All laid out nice and neat. That blue wire there is the Squelch Pickup. Okay, Squelch Pickup for the front mic 148s is right there. Alright, I think that about does it. Steven, there's your frequency counter. I'm trying to get it where you can see it. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus on it. Yeah, it's about as good as it's going to get. But there's lower side, AM, upper side. All kind of garbage on there today. But here is your band switch. Come on, focus. Now this is not a momentary. I used the regular CBPA switch so that it would look the same as all the rest. There's not enough room in the up-down area to put a momentary in there. So unless I want to use a toggle, and I didn't really want to do that, I wanted to keep them looking the same. So just remember, when you push it up to change bands, push it back down real quick. Do it like that, okay? If you push it up and leave it, the radio will continually change bands 45 channels at a time. Okay, I mean, it won't hurt anything, but you're not going to get where you want to, if you follow me. All right, that's 28615 and 26815. And that's channel 26. Okay. Squelch scan. Turn the squelch up. And flip the button and away she goes. Once the squelch opens, it stops and we'll repeat the channel, showing you what channel you're on. Once the squelch closes, it goes back to scanning. All right. And let's see, what else do I need to show you? All the rest of the switches up here do what they say they're doing. Turn squelch scan back off. To do your SWR calibrate, that's what I wanted to show you. You set it on cal, just like do that right there. Okay. Nope, wrong switch. Set it on calibrate. Okay. Key the microphone. And it's pretty much calibrated right there. But you use RF power to calibrate it with. Okay, by varying your AM power, you set that up. Now, in the reason that this works is that I have put a resistor in where the pot used to be to preset it, so that when you key the microphone, see, that's into my dummy load, you got almost nothing. Okay? Actually, that's not into my dummy load. That's going out to my antennas. That's pretty good SWR, isn't it? Man, I shouldn't be keying up there. Let me switch to the dummy load. I'll switch to the bird. The bird goes to the antenna. Sorry about that, hams. I didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. Let's see. Anyway, that's how you check the SWR. Okay, calibrate. Use AM power to set the needle on the calibrate position. Okay, and then just switch to SWR, and you get an SWR reading. Now this is my antenna, and let's see. Let's go. Let's get back down into the CB band. All right, and we'll do calibrate there. Turn it back up. Yeah, and I do have the power turned up a little more on CB than I do on the top of 10 meters, and that's because there's no voice up there. Voice stops at 28.5, and so the power starts falling off after 28.5. But it remains about the same from negative 15 all the way to channel 150. Okay. I think that's about it. I've showed you the all this business. Hello, 1 2. 1 2. Hello, 1 2. Another thing that I forgot to show you was the knobs. Okay, your Echo uses this kind of knob. You see, it's different from the standard Cobra knobs, but the Echo uses this kind of knob. And because I added a dual control over here for the mic and talkback, I used the same kind of knobs. I took the knobs off another set of Echo boards, or Echo board. I stole the knobs out of it, and that way the talkback and mic knob matches the Echo and level. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the new Cobra knobs, any spares for those. If I did, I would put those on there, but at least you got these knobs here match, and then these knobs match. Let's see. And this one, with the orange like this, that's all the way up. Okay, that's wide open. I don't like the way the lines all lined up, but nothing I can do about that because of the way the pot has to mount inside the radio. If you turn it the other way to where the lines are facing down this way, then they interfere with the channel selector. Let's see. That's about all I can think of. Your meter light, of course, is blue till you key it. Oh, sorry about that. It's blue until you key, and it turns red like the transmit and receive light does. Okay. All right, I'm going to get it boxed up and get it sent out to you, but that is your counter. It's wired up, set up for the radio. If you have any questions or concerns, please email me. Okay? Thanks a lot. Okay, there is one thing I forgot to do, and that was show you the output power. The radio is now connected to my dummy load. I'm using a 50 watt slug on the ×2 scale, so we're reading on that scale there on the bottom. That's the 100 watt scale. And I'm on lower sideband on channel 38. Hello. Audio, hello. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Audio test. Okay. Let me switch to the ×5. We're now on the 250 watt scale, which is that top scale up there. Hello. Hello. Audio, audio, hello. Audio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, what did I do? Audio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Audio test, test audio. Audio 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Audio, 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 audio. About 125 watts on sideband. Now then, let's switch to AM. I'm going to switch back to the 100 watt scale. Okay, so we're reading on the bottom scale again. Audio. Wow. Is that right? Yeah, I'm on AM. Okay, we're reading peak power. We're reading peak power. And audio, 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 audio. That's with it turned all the way up. So it's right at 100. That's with the RF power set all the way up. Now with RF power turned all the way down, let me turn down the mic gain. We're dead keying about, where's it, that's 10? About 4 watts with it turned all the way down. About 4 watts is what we're dead keying. And with it turned all the way up, that's about 18 watts dead key. I got the microphone turned all the way down. Did I have, no, it's not quite all the way up. Let me do that again. Okay, 19 watts dead key with the power turned all the way up. That's with the RFX turned on. Okay, that's dead key. And you already saw what it does on swing. Alright. And like I said, if you have any questions, please give me a call. There's your counter. It's lower side, AM, upper side. Now as the radio warms up, it changes slightly. Okay, and when it's good and warm, that pointer would be right at 12 o'clock. Okay? Alright, thanks for the business. I hope you enjoy the radio.